Okay, so right now it's time for low poly version, and you have two ways. One is of course creating a low poly in more traditional way, and this is just building a low poly geometry around your high poly geometry. So of course you can create a cylinder, of course, for the wheel, for example, and you can add more details to the cylinder, and of course build a pretty similar shape to this wheel and tire, and this will be your low poly version. The second way is of course retopology, so called, and of course you can use any other 3D program for retopology. For example, I'm using Topogan mostly for characters, but right now in Maya you can do retopology because in this 2016 and 2015 version they've added some new tools. So let's do it right now. I will show you some examples, and then I will probably do a whole body of the car using this retopology stuff, and I will probably do some more smaller parts of this vehicle in more traditional way. So we will be building low poly geometry around, for example, this wheel and maybe some other parts. So let's just start it with the body of the car. First, what you have to do is just turn the object that is your reference live, and we can do this right here. And right now this mesh is unselectable right now, and it's live. That means when we are creating quads or drawing quads, we will be able to create these quads on this geometry. So left mouse button, we are creating vertices, and when we press shift and put your mouse somewhere near these vertices, you can highlight this polygon, and when you left click you can create this polygon. Of course, more details about this tool you can find here. Keyboard mouse shortcut if you are using Maya 2016. So all the tricks are explained here. I will show you some basic tricks that I'm using. So let's maybe create a few polygons here. You can see right now, clicking Control, using Control I can create edge loops. And let's create more vertices and more polygons. We can of course move vertices, move the edges or the polygons. You can add of course edge loops like I said. Let's create even more. And pressing shift we can relax these vertices and polygons a little bit, so the surface will be, or the wireframe actually will be a little bit more smooth. So it will be relaxed actually. And of course, creating low poly version you have to think about poly count. Right now I'm not really sure how many polygons I want to spend for this car, but usually you have some kind of limits when you are working on the project. and you have to be thinking about this really often. You have to redo some parts or optimize some parts a little bit. Mostly it's better to make more, because then you can just remove few edges or edge loops, and this way you can optimize your model a little bit. Of course, you can add some stuff, some more polygons too, but mostly I am making a little bit more, and then if we had to, if something it's really too much, I am optimizing. We can of course delete edges and vertices and polygons. Pressing Shift and Control, we can just kill this edge or the polygon. We can of course snap or merge vertices. For example, if I want to grab these vertices and put it here, we can some kind of snap it to this one, and it's merging it. Of course, right now it's not a good idea, but I just wanted to show you that it's possible to merge vertices really quickly. Okay, I would like to tell you right now about a small bug in Maya 2016, and I think this is also in the previous version of the Maya. So I would like to tell you about this quad draw tool and about the overlay append mesh. You can see I don't have many glitches with displaying this low poly geometry above my high poly. When I uncheck this, of course it's less visible because it's not drawing these lines, these black lines. Of course we can change the color. But the issue is sometimes about displaying these lines properly. So sometimes if the geometry is a little bit more complicated, people have problems, and right now I don't have here any issues. So I will create just a new scene. Let's save this one maybe, and let's create just default scene, and we will see if we've got any problems. Let's create maybe a sphere, subdivide this, make it live, and let's draw some quads. And you can see we're not really able to clearly see this wireframe. When we are turning to the wireframe mode, of course we can see it, but it's really uncomfortable to work like this because it's just too much going on and we're not able to clearly see our high poly geometry. So we want to work this way, but the issue is that we can see the wireframe. Some people are trying to make it visible better, playing with some of the camera options, near clipping plane, and this one, focal length and angle of view, but it's not really working for me. So I figure out that it's better when I will just take the material for the high poly version, and in this case it's just a Lambert. So let's maybe select the high poly and assign a new material. Let's pick a blend shader, and the trick is to add just a little bit of transparency. You can go with more, but usually enough is it's just turning on a little bit transparency. So after doing this, we can make this object alive again, select our low poly geometry, and go back to creating quads. Now you can see we see our wireframe clearly, no glitches, and we can work this way a little bit better. So this is the solution. Some people are advising to check viewport 2.0 settings and to play with transparency algorithm. We can change it to weighted average, deep filling, but when I'm using this simple or object sorting option, it's pretty okay for me. So that's it. Right now I will just go back to our car, to our vehicle, and I will be working on the body. So we will create a full body of this vehicle. I hope it all will be recorded, and then we will do some other stuff more traditional way.